Hey, Tapp Brothers here, and today in this video we're going to be learning the lazy vault. The lazy vault is going to be one of the first vaults that you learn in parkour for several reasons. One, it's very simple, just like the name says, the lazy vault. It requires very little effort to throw the move. It's also a move that you're going to use a lot just because it's very versatile in your movement, and it's used in different situations. So the most common situation with the lazy vault is you're going to be running parallel to the object or the obstacle, in this case the rail, or at an angle. So if you need to go over down a level or safely just go over an obstacle, just throw it and over. It's very fluid, very smooth, and a lot of fun to throw. I remember when I first learned this move, I just threw it all the time just because I had so much fun with it, and it's very simple. So now it's time to break down the technique. Okay, so as we're approaching the obstacle, or the rail in this case, we're going to go into step one, the hand placement and foot placement. Now this is crucial for the lazy vault, and if you mess up on this, this is where you clip and this is where you mess up. So just like in running, or when we're doing our QM, our opposites are working together, this is what we're going to be doing for the lazy vault to set up for the vault. So our left foot, in this case, and our right hand are planing down, our opposites, in front. So planing down in front. Now what this allows us to do, and it's so crucial that we have the hands and leg placed in front like this, is to set up for the vault. So let's say if I run and I plant close instead of in front, I plant close here, and I try to go for the vault. A lot of times if you have momentum going forward, what you're going to do is you're going to be off balance, you're going to go too far forward, and you're not going to have support here with the arm. Because with the lazy vault, when we're up in the air going over, you're going to have a lot of support here with the arm. So what we want to do is to have the timing where we plant and we're in motion running. And as we're going over the rail, this arm is here to support that weight and to carry us over. Like so. Okay? So that's why it's important that we have these in front. It's also important that we have these in front so this inside leg can swing up and over in the direction we want to go. If we don't swing the inside leg, let's say we swing the outside leg up and over, this is called a thief vault, so it's an entirely different vault. Very similar in technique, except for the leg that you're swinging over. So back to the steps. So we have step one down, hand placement, foot placement. Then we go into step two, that's swinging the inside leg and hip up and over in the direction you want to go. So you want to think of the inside leg as basically your aimer for the direction you want to go. Wherever you open up this leg and direct it, that's where you're going to be going. So if I want to go completely straight, I want to hit 90 degrees on a lazy vault. I go here, up, turn it over, go in that direction. Same thing if I want to go more of an angle. I'm just going to open up slightly and carry over. Here. So that's where you're going to get all the control from, this leg and this hip. So now we know that this inside leg directs where we're going. As we're up in the air on this, it's important that we keep integrity with our hips, and we keep our hips close to this arm actually to help with balance and support. So if we're going for the vault and we launch our hips, because the hips control a lot of the movement, just like with a lot of other vaults in parkour, the hips play a big part. If we throw the hips too far forward or too up and over here instead of close to this arm, it's going to throw us off balance. If we throw it too close here or too far behind, we're going to bump to this arm and it's going to throw us off. So it's important that we find that sweet spot, keeping the hips close, basically drags really close to this arm here while I'm up. Because that's where you're going to have the most control in that position here. Have most of the strength and the balance here. And this is where it's important also to condition. And I'll give you some good conditioning exercises here in a few seconds. We do step two, then we go into step three. Step three is as we're going up and over, you're carrying the first leg up and over, then comes the second leg up and over. It's going to just follow the same route as the right leg here. And then we're going to place the opposite hand, in this case the left hand, on the rail to help guide us. Basically, you're not putting too much weight on this arm here. It's just here to guide you, to give you that little fine tuning for the direction you want to go and to help with balance and control. And what I like to think of this motion as you're going over is kind of like a wave. or even some people like to call like a scissor motion. So right leg, left leg, over. Now remember that guide hand on the grip here, it's going to be the opposite of the hand that you originally first placed down. So your right hand's going to be placed with the fingers facing the direction that you're vaulting at first here. The guiding hand's going to be placed completely opposite most of the time. Unless you're going into a dash, that's when you can turn and place that hand in the same direction. But most of the time you're going to be just doing the lazy and it's going to be in the opposite. So then we go into step 4. That's the landing. So depending on how high the drop is, let's say I'm up here. I don't want to land with one leg. But if I'm on a lower rail here, the impact isn't so hard, so I can actually just land with one leg and step out. So what you want to do is that inside leg that you're swinging over, that's going to be the first leg that you land with. So up, over, and then step out. Make sure to land on the balls of the feet here, or actually right below the balls of the feet, right in this area here. Absorb with the leg and step out, continue that momentum. If that's a little too much for you, that's perfectly fine. Just land with both feet in the basic landing position. And then continue on. And then gradually as you improve, work on that step out. Because this is what's going to make you more efficient, make your movement a lot faster. So when you are in that opportunity where you have to escape or you need to move very quickly, that step gets you going. So now we learned the technique, now it's time to work on progression steps. Now the best progression that I've found for learning the lazy vault is just using your butt, which works really well for the lazy vault. So you're just going to swing as you would for the lazy, up and over, and if the obstacle's low enough, and if you're on a ledge, it's even safer. So up, just like so, swing the butt over, carry through. It's just an easy way to help get comfortable with the move, and then you can gradually add more speed, add more jump to make it easier. More. So that's that progression. Now when we're training our progression, it's going to be of course easier to practice on a low ledge that's thin. So if you can find a low ledge, thin ledge, go from there and then gradually work your way up to a rail. Now I'm going to show you some conditioning exercises because not all of us are just naturally going to have the core strength and the flexibility to be able to perform the move. So I'm going to give you these exercises right now. So it's crucial, not just for the lazy vault, for all the vaults or any movement they're doing in parkour, that we condition the body specifically for these movements. So for the lazy vault, if you notice, you're using a lot of core strength, a lot of obliques here, and a lot of flexibility is needed to get those hips up and over and have control. So the first exercise, and this one's by far one of the best for parkour, and we actually give this to our students to really see, or to test them to see where they're at with their flexibility and their hips and everything. And we notice if you can do carry throughs, which I'm about to show you, really well, then you're going to pick up most of the moves in the vaults pretty fast. So with the carry throughs, it's just holding in a push-up position, then walking through into this position here, straightening up, and then walking back. So this is going to help with that flexibility and core strength. Now, for most of us, we're not going to be able to go on our fingertips. We're going to go on an elevated surface, so get some books, get up a little bit higher, and work on doing that motion here. The second exercise is just your basic side plank. So we're hitting the vault, the lazy vault. We're using a lot of muscle here in the core and the back and the obliques. So with the plank, we're just going to hold our hand flat out and in this position here. So we're going to build up these muscles. We want to do both sides as well, so they're even. Just hold for about 30 seconds to a minute with each one, and that'll be good for that. This last exercise is actually for V-sit training, or got this from gymnastics, and this is going to help build up that core when you're going over and getting that control while you're doing the vault. And this is just, you're going to have your legs straight out in front of you, back straight, place the hands close to the hips or closer to the knees or further up forward to add more resistance. We're just going to hold and go up and down. It's going to help build up that core strength. So those are 3 exercises to help with the lazy vault. If you start doing these exercises, it's going to really improve on your movement, just an all around in parkour. So that concludes this tutorial. Hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe above and leave a comment. My brother and I love reading the comments. Also, you can pick up a free 5-day parkour course in the description below. Just click on the link. And as always, train safe, and I'll see you in the next video.